in the Beth Israel Congregation Synagogue in Salisbury, Maryland. I'm with Mike Reitzik and the Charm City Klezmer Band. They're down here from Baltimore to do a performance today, and we thought this would be a great opportunity to bring you a little bit of insight into this great thing that's klezmer music. I've been fascinated by it for years, and it is our pleasure to be here, Mike, and to meet with you guys.
Thank you.
I have a lot of questions for you, but I'd like you to start by introducing your band and telling us a little bit about Charm City. How long have you been together, and tell us about yourselves.
Okay, sure. Let me start over here on my left. On trumpet, we have Eric Heavner, who's been a founding member of the band. On drums and percussion, we have Chris Lurch. Our newest member of the band on acoustic upright bass is Dave Friedman. Over here to my right is Max Geller, clarinet player. And next to me is Judith Geller, pianist and French horn and lead vocalist. And this is my son Jake, who plays a lot of stuff. He's working in this time right now.
And
I play guitar and put the band together.
okay, you were mentioning earlier that we have 3 generations here.
That's correct. Me and Judith got married in 1990. What?
5.
Yeah. August 27th. And known each other a long time. And this is Judith's father, Max.
So what kind of instrument are you planning for Jacob?
Well, I'm really hoping bass. Some steady work.
When he was first born, that's what we said. He said, "Look at those fingers."
He's
Those
a
are
bass
player.
player.
But he's really into percussion right now. But if I could just mention something about being family, that's okay. I know in Klezmer, the history of Klezmer really was a history of families of Klezmer musicians. People typically traveled all around little towns and shtetls, and they were families of Klezmorim, they called them. So it does feel like being part of the tradition, you know, being this family of musicians playing this music.
It's a wonderful thing. It really is.
It's fun.
The instrumentation in your band, is that standard for klezmer, or does it vary from group to group?
I think it varies from group to group to some degree. A traditional klezmer band would have an accordion player and a violin player. But when I came over to the States, the clarinet kind of became predominant, and a gentleman named Jorik Feidman really made that popular. Later, and before that, Naftali Brandwein and David Harris were the 2 clarinet players that came over. So I don't know if you can say there's a standard. Some klezmer bands don't have drums or bass players. Some are just instrumental bands with no vocals. Some focus on one particular type of the music. And when we're talking about Jewish music, we're talking about klezmer is one piece of that. There's quite a broad spectrum, and it's gotten broader over the past 15 or 20 years. So, but our instrumentation winded up as a result of just who I knew and who expressed interest.
Okay, so you put together what was available to get the sound and what you wanted for your group.
Right.
Now, do you do vocals?
Yeah, I do some backgrounds.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll hear that today.
I saw in the flyer out front that they mentioned vocals, instrumental, of course, and dancing.
Yeah, a number of the performances we do, we teach people how to do Israeli dances.
Okay.
There is a slew of Israeli dances, and there's quite a big Israeli dance scene, at least around in the Baltimore area. And it's nice to not always have to do that to can the music, to take the music.
Yeah.
So we throw that into it.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
In addition, there's dancing to the klezmer tunes, the instrumental klezmer tunes. Big circles form a lot of times in some of our shows, and people are swirling around together. People who never met each other are all dancing in big circles.
Might we get to do that today?
Absolutely, I'm hoping. 150 people in one room, klezmer music. I would think they'd start dancing around.
Yeah, that would be
What
neat.
are the odds?
Well, it's more. So what I'm hearing is it's more than just like a bluegrass show or something like that. This is a cultural thing, and people really get into it when you're performing and playing. And they identify with it.
Absolutely, and even people who've never heard it before or are not necessarily part of Jewish culture really enjoy it. I mean, it's sort of infectious. I mean, we played to all different types of audiences, and We played in clubs downtown in Baltimore, you know, that typically have other kinds of music. We just played in the jazz club in New York last week, and but you know, people from all over really enjoy it, and they do get into the dancing of it, and usually get carried away. If enough people are doing it, everyone kind of joins in.
Good music is infectious.
Yeah.
You can't help it. How much do you guys travel? How far do you travel? How often?
Well, our favorite place to travel to is New York City. And, we go there as often as we can.
Why is everybody laughing at that?
Because it's a little bit of a schlep.
I think
long
it's
day.
you recognize
Very
that.
long.
It's a bit of a
Schlep
drag
being a
going
journey?
there.
Yes.
But that's where he's from, so.
Okay.
Yeah, he's from New York.
Yeah, I'm kind of originated in New York and kind of transplanted some of my background to this particular effort right here. The organizer, of course, is my son-in-law, Michael Reitzik. But I think the concept kind of involved my presence. Would you say that, Michael? Kind of involved my presence in that I had a lot of background, this kind of thing. In a way, I'm kind of a product of a governmental program. In that I got a lot of my training under the GI Bill.
Okay.
You know, after I came out of the Army, I went to a music conservatory for a while, and I got you know, most of my clarinet training came from there.
Is your background as a professional musician, Max?
Well, professional in the sense that I did play, you know, weddings and bar mitzvahs and things like that up in New York, and I had classical training, but I never really worked as a classical musician in terms of earning anything. But then I came down here, and of course I had with me a certain amount of this background in playing Jewish music, Jewish weddings, and which included a lot of the traditional klezmer tunes that we play now. You know. So then things were brought together and organized, and here we are.
So you go to New York a lot.
Well, we've been there several times.
You like to
We've
go.
been there
That's
several
where you like to go.
We like going there.
No, it's been really important. I mean, the thing about New York is that it's the international hookup. In other words, the last time we played there, a busload of German tourists came in for the second show. And they loved us, and they wound up buying a lot of CDs.
Yes.
Those CDs are going back to Germany, and you just take it from there.
Good stuff will happen.
And that's why you go to New York.
Okay, so there's a real audience base up there as well.
Well, the thing about New York is you just don't know who's going to be there, but there's just tons of everything up there. So
Yeah, it helps that Dad likes it.
Yeah.
That's why I like it
Yeah,
so much.
Max.
And we're visiting the old hometown.
Now let me go back to it's a schlep. That means it's a long
It's a
drive.
drag, a long drag.
Yeah.
Well, we've been schlepping all summer. Then.
Yeah, I bet you
I
have.
didn't know it at the
Most
time.
people
We didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah, most people schlep, they just don't really know what's involved.
Ha. Most music colleges don't have to
When you have
schlep
one of these,
around.
yeah.
They actually
For
have
those
other
who don't
music
have one of
colleges in the
these.
band.
Well, let's go around the other way again now.
Yeah.
You are Eric, and you play the trumpet. What's your background?
Background, mostly jazz, and I played in a lot of R&B bands. In fact, I used to be involved in a jazz group that Michael used to have. We used to have a big band. That's how we kind of hooked up. That's my background.
Okay. You enjoy the travel and the.
Oh yeah, I know everything about it. Actually, when Michael asked me to join the group, I was like, yeah, because anything Michael and Judith are involved in, the musical quality is so high. I was like, yeah,
Good.
I'm there.
Good. And
Christopher Lurch.
drummer,
Yes.
Chris.
Good to meet you.
You've been with them from the beginning, right?
Yes.
4 years the band has been
4
together.
years, yeah.
Okay.
And Michael called me up one day and he asked me if I'd be interested in joining the project, and I said, yeah, definitely. I mean, I didn't know a lot about Klezmer. Again, I come from a background of jazz and rock and R&B, and a lot of us, I actually never played a gig with Eric, but I think I played a couple gigs with Michael in Baltimore, and I played actually a couple gigs with you, right? At the beginning, when I came to Baltimore in '92. But I have a background in ethnomusicology. I got a master's degree at the University of Maryland, so I'm kind of interested in folk music as well.
So are you an Eastern Shore native, or was it
No,
the other side?
from Pennsylvania. I'm
Okay.
from Pennsylvania.
Whereabouts?
Harrisburg area, Camp Hill.
Okay. I'm from Havertown, Pennsylvania, originally over towards Philadelphia.
Sure, I went to school in Westchester for my undergraduate.
We had a store in Westchester back in the late 70s,
Okay.
out in Marshallton.
Oh yeah, Marshallton. Yeah, that's a
Know
nice
the
little
area.
town.
We have a very good friend in Westchester, a blues player by the name of Stu Bryant.
I think I remember the name.
They call him Mojo Stu.
Yep.
He's also a martial arts instructor. Small world.
Yeah, this is
Very small world. Now, as a musicologist, ethnomusicologist, how do you see and coming from jazz and rhythm and blues and rock and roll, is it a fairly, I never like to use the word easy, but going from one genre to another, if you're a musician, I never see it as too difficult. What's your slam?
Well, Michael and I were talking about this on the ride up here. It's different. You bring to music what you've done in the past. So if you study jazz or rock, you're going to bring a little bit of that into whatever you do. So when you approach a new music like Klezmer, I think all of us are bringing something to it other than the traditional style, and we're adding more to it than what was originally there. So therefore, it's definitely changing the way we play it, and we're kind of fusing it to different styles. But it's hard. I mean, I don't think we claim to be a pure Klezmer band. I think we're trying to expand the definition of Klezmer music.
Do you believe, and I'm addressing your education now, folk music, it should evolve, it should change?
Yes,
Is that part of the process?
My personal opinion is folk music has to change or it dies. But there are purists out there, musicologists that try to preserve it and would like to maybe not see it change. There's two different schools of thought there. I don't think either one's right or wrong. I just think it's...
We get into trouble sometimes. Our belief is if you have to preserve it, it's probably dead. Let it evolve.
Let it grow. I agree with you solely, sir.
That's interesting. Bass player, you are...
I'm Dave.
Dave. And you've been with the band for?
About a year now.
Okay. So what do you think about the schlepping? You enjoy it?
Schlepping. You're going to have it either way. It doesn't matter.
He's schlepped around Europe playing music. So
Yeah, I've toured Europe and Central America. And,
Really?
so I've been around. To New York's nothing.
Yeah, that's just a jaunt.
Yeah, but Max wants to go up there every weekend, so it's just a drain.
Maybe
Try
the
to slow
corned
him
beef
down
sandwiches.
once a month, and yeah, you go for the corned beef sandwiches.
And your background is?
Classical, jazz, music education degree.
In fact, we used to play in an orchestra together.
Yeah, we played in an orchestra a long time ago, Hopkins Symphony Orchestra. I still play when I can. Time's getting a little crazy lately. But love to do that, and just anything I can enjoy, rather than, I don't like it to get to the point where it's work.
Yeah.
But love the band, and it's so kinetic because you come from the structure of this traditional klezmer, where you can imagine, you go back to a fiddle the roof idea, is it just this basic? No, it's going to always grow and get out of that.
Yeah. But of course, going back to my youth and so on, there was a little bit of this. Don't let her get involved with a musician. Look for a dentist or a lawyer or something like that. Stay away from those musicians kind of thing. But I think through the years we've attained a certain amount of respectability, and I think it's because the genuine passion that comes with music and the understand and the responsiveness you get from the people to music have kind of built a culture which is accepted, these days. And I think it's because the music, the jazz, other types of pop music, the klezmer music, is a basic expression, of human feelings and the skills that can be developed and so on. So I think that music today is a living art. It's perfectly respectable to pursue it as a career. It's nice to have some talent to go along with it, if you possibly can. If you don't have the talent, be a good promoter anyway. But I think Michael, who's kind of lived more intensively as a musician than perhaps I have, because although I go back a long way, it's always been more of a part-time kind of thing with me than it has with some people. Like Michael has been basically, his music has been kind of his whole life, so you can talk a little bit more about it.
From your perspective, Mike, a word to our viewers, yeah.
About?
It can be a word of advice, a word of observation about life as a musician.
Oh.
Encouragement or discouragement, whatever you'd like to give.
Well, there's plenty of that already. I'm expounding upon the discouragement. What was I saying? If you have a lot of talent and you can get the support and get the training, because music, music is about learning some skills to write, to create. It's very intellectually involved as well as emotionally. The thing I like about it is that I think for me personally, music has challenged me on all my fronts. Everything from my relationships to my friends and loved ones, all the way to economics, to creativity, and it's always got me thinking in all those areas and has moved me forward. I think the other thing that music has done for me personally is that it's introduced me to an incredibly wide range of people from all walks of life that I may have never gotten around the meeting had I picked another career choice. And I don't know that for a fact, all I can say is what I know. And that it's a lot of fun. Playing music can definitely be a lot of fun. And that's probably why they call it playing, as opposed to working. But you are a working musician too. So there's some thoughts.
Very well put, thank you. It's been our pleasure
Yeah, thanks
to
for
meet
having
with
us.
you guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We're looking forward to your performance.
and welcome and good afternoon. We are Charm City Klezmer from Baltimore, Charm City, and we're so glad to be with you here today. That first tune was a very typical, almost traditional Klezmer tune from Eastern Europe. It was called the Heiser Bulgar, which means the hot Bulgar. And the Bulgar is a kind of Klezmer tune, which often people get up in big circles and dance around, and kind of to the different beats that you would have heard, different syncopations. So maybe at some point you guys want to get up and do some dancing. Anytime, actually, you're welcome to do that.
We can teach some dancing.
We can teach some dancing, that's true. We'll be doing some Israeli dances that hopefully you'll join me in. But we're doing actually a variety of music. Klezmer, as it is today, actually incorporates a lot of different types of Jewish music. And that last one, again, was from Eastern Europe. This next tune is a Ladino tune. Ladino is the Judeo-Spanish language that originally came out of Spain and moved eastward. And this is actually a tune from the Jews of Yugoslavia. It's called Pesa a la Mano. And if anyone knows Spanish, you might understand some of it. And it's basically about certain holidays in the Jewish calendar and how observing rituals and being together with family all help bring us good luck, mazal, and bring us back to our center in life.
4. Snap, snap, 1, 2, 3, yeah. Back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5.